All right, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. I'm back today on the special show. It's a Wednesday show, y'all. On the West Coast and the East Coast and everything between, folks. You are live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. And this is how we do it just today, baby. Just for the day. Just for the day. Now, if you were here on my show last Thursday, folks, you know, we had a guest book that was a little flip, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. And his people called me a couple times, man, we want to make that show up, and they couldn't do it tomorrow. I'm doing my man Tommy Sotomayor tomorrow. We're doing the show tomorrow. So I said we could do it Friday or Wednesday. He said he got a show. It's Friday. So Wednesday is the day we decided to do this show. I got my man Dusty in the dugout. He's going to co-host the show with me. So we're going to give my man some time to get online. And in the meantime, me and Dusty gonna cut it up. What up, Dusty?
Yeah. What up, my man? What up, my man? Looking forward to this show tonight. Hopefully it goes through.
I'm looking forward. I've been texting my boy all day long. I told him I just hit him up. We ready? He wanted to come on early, and that was at 4:00. But I'm gonna make sure he got the email. Make sure he got the link again, just to make sure.
Yeah, good looking out. What up, Phillip Burks? What up, King D Young in the building?
I'm more than sure they're gonna show up, but I just want to make sure everybody got their thing together. That's all. So it is what it is.
I got you. Feel you, man.
And you can't be over confident. You can't be too relaxed. So make sure he got the show link again in case they call, email, text, whatever the case may be. We'll give him a minute to see what's happening, folks.
Yeah.
Man, you working at home now, man. That's
man. Yeah. I'm loving it, man. I got, like I said, about 12 hours a week extra. Multiply that by 4. I mean, that's a whole that's
2 days.
Yeah, it's literally 2 days of that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
2 extra days a month. Damn, just from cutting
wow.
Man. And that's what I loved about this whole pandemic thing is that it made it where companies just have to adjust and they trust their employees working from home. They saw that they could do it for that year. So a lot of them that's a big selling point now. Like, I don't even have to go back in ever in my industry if I don't need to.
You know, a lot of jobs, you don't have to be in nobody's office to do them.
Mm-hmm.
It actually saves the company money. But they greedy ass, it save you money on office space, the whole 9 yards. I mean, come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
It could be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. While we're here, let's talk some stuff. We always have a bunch of questions that people
go for it.
Get to every week. A couple weeks ago, you talked about selling beats to dudes in prison.
Yeah.
Will you please tell us more about that?
Oh man, I came up in the era of break beats, and break beats were a big thing back in the day, dude. And I had the studio producers, the whole 9 yards, and these guys were up and coming, so they wanted, hey man, let me try my hand at making some beats. And in doing that, I created a thing called dope tracks, and dope tracks was primarily just
who the hell is that? Why Stacks is dumb, fam? Let's block him out the chat, yo.
He what?
Oh, that's on your end. Oh no, someone's spamming our chat right now on the.
I don't even see my chat room.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's all good. Yeah. So, I'll see if I can do it on my end.
Shit. Huh?
I'll see if I can do it on my end. Sorry, keep going.
Anyway, yeah, I started making these beats, and I was selling them through my regular channels. And one guy who ran across my beats called, hey man, do you sell these on cassette? Yes, I do. He says, man, I'd like to buy some from you. Went down, talked to him. His name was Bob Paris. Cool dude, real cool dude, man. We hit it off right away. And I asked him, you know, what's his main clientele? He says, my main clientele is the prison industrial complex. You know, I say, what? He says, yeah, man. He was one of the few vendors at that time that had a contract. He was a vendor to prisons around the country, federal, state, the whole 9 yards. And these guys, somehow or another, he ran across one of my volumes, put it in the catalog, because he had said there was a catalog that went around from time, around the various prisons, and people saw it and they started buying it, and they, it became very popular. in the penal system, man. The dope tracks, anything dope tracks. I think I had like 9 volumes. Each one had about 10 tracks on it each.
Damn, that's
And
crazy.
it was set up for I think it was 16 bar verses, 2 bar, 4 bar hooks, 4 bar breaks. You know, and you get like 4 or 5 of those. Each one was like 3 minutes long, and I put them on cassette and CD at the time, and cassettes sold out, man. In fact, I might have a few of them in the garage, but I sold most of my cassette catalog to Bob when he went right before he went out of business, because he said at some point in time the feds or some big corporation took over all that stuff to the prisons. Everything supplying the prisons, a big corporation had to deal with them, so they took over the music, the popcorn, candy, everything. So he was put out of business behind that. Sir.
Damn, that's crazy. So right now there's some dudes out there with the tape possibly of that he got while he was behind bars.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, someone says we need to get a feature with Crip Mac. I don't know. This is Crip Mac's. Are you familiar with Crip Mac, C-Mac?
Don't know him.
Okay, he's a dude with he has a certain gang killer on his forehead. Always walk around fight crap. He's he's not. Yeah, shout out to Crip Mac. He's doing his thing, but we don't. We ain't messing with Crip Mac. Shout out to Crip Mac though.
More power to him. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, man. Yeah, definitely good luck. Let's see here. Talk to us about what you remember about the box. I know, probably a little bit later in your career, but did you ever do anything with the box?
Huh?
Did you ever do anything with them?
Video jukebox?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, man. Video jukebox came out, in the late 80s. It was a great promotional tool for years, for a while, and then they got caught up in the payola scandal because people it jumped off real quick, and for like $2, I think it was, you could get a video played, like a request line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it got caught up in the payola because companies were paying people in various parts of the country to keep requesting the videos, certain videos that just got released, and it got to the point where people nobody else videos could get played, and an investigation went down, and shortly after that it got shut down because it was just another form of payola.
That makes sense.
It was dope. It was dope for a while, and it just got to the point where people just started, people with companies with money just kind of took over, just started paying people to pay the video, so they just took over the whole channel. Yes, sir.
What do you know about payola? I mean, you dealt with a lot of radio stations and things like that. I'm sure it exists. Give us some ways that it exists back in the day.
Payola is something that's almost mandatory in the game, but it's illegal. And in the early days of payola, they just walk in and give a DJ some money, $20, $50, whatever the case may be, and give them to play your record. Well, that shit became illegal. And then the radio stations got smart. They got real smart, and they stopped payola to the individual DJs, and then the program directors started taking the money because they were the one that actually put the records in the rotation. Then they got record companies got real smart. Radio stations got real smart, and once so many stations got bought up, they start making record companies come through the head office, and instead of getting $20 to the DJ or whatever the program director now you got to give us a car to give away. Or trip to Hawaii or Disney cruise or whatever. So it became sponsorships. So one person would buy a Disney package, and somebody else's record would get played. It was, dude, it's cold. In fact, we got caught up in a payola scandal at one time. We had just dropped our CBS album, and CBS gave us like $20,000 to hire independent promoters. Payola is pretty much handled by independent promoters, and we were just about to hire them. And I swear, We got the check like on a Tuesday and Thursday. It was a major independent independent promoter scandal. Just one of the guys we had considered hiring, his name was Joe Iskro, and it was a federal investigation, a Senate hearing, all kinds of shit, man. And they told us take that 20 grand and have a party with it. They ain't touching it. Yep.
Damn. Yeah. William Moe says now the labels control the playlists on Spotify, etc. The game may change. That's so true. If you're not on these playlists on Spotify, you're pretty much not going to blow up.
Right. So you got to meet the matrix or the algorithms to get on there, and then you're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some kind of incentive to get your shit in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need some incentive. So these are all real shit, man. This is all real shit, and it's part of the game. They tell you it takes X amount of dollars to break a record. They tell you it takes 100,000 to break a record, 500,000, depending on who the artist is and how far you want to break them. And this is why people would even consider putting an insurance policy on somebody, because if you're going to invest 100 grand, 200 grand, 300, $500,000 into an artist, if something happened to him, you want to be able to be protected or be covered, and that's why insurance policies are not uncommon, because people do check out naturally, and in most cases, hip hop a little different, but still not a bad investment.
Yeah, man, that's facts. Texas Clone 89 says, question for Lonzo: who had the best performance at Eve After Dark or Dudos?
Best performance at Eve After Dark or Wrecking Crew? Shit, no.
Besides the Wrecking Crew,
I think Curtis Blow at Eve After Dark, man. Curtis Blow rocked the shit out of Eve After Dark, man. Curtis rocked the shit out of Eve back in the day, dude. I mean, first of all, it was exciting to see somebody of his stature on Albino Segundo. Mm-hmm. He had the big hit with the Christmas rapping, and he had the breaks and shit, man. And he actually played the breaks at the club. And we had another song on his album called AJ Scratch that was the shit for Eve After Dark. And he didn't even have AJ Scratch in his show rotation. We had to add it in there, and man, people heard that shit. They just went crazy, dude. New Edition had people going crazy at Dudos just walking on the stage. They didn't do a show. They just walked on the stage, and there was a damn security issue.
Damn, that's crazy. Unified Solution says get him on the show. He means Curtis Blow. Lonzo has had Curtis Blow on the show. Type in Lonzo Williams, Curtis Blow. He just did an interview like maybe 3 months ago, right?
Yeah. Cameo didn't perform, Willie Mo. They just fell through. Cameo was in super chill mode. They was in coochie hunt mode. They wasn't doing no shows that day. They was in hunt mode. That's all they came to do, was see what they can get themselves into, literally. Okay.
Yeah, William Mo said I would have thought Cameo would be in the top. So yeah, they gave a good performance.
Nah, they didn't perform. They just came through. They sent the horn section down there. Larry Blackman or Nathan Lieutenant didn't show up. They sent the horn section, and it was like, hey man, we here. Where the girls at? And the girls are like, here, where Cameo at? And it was a match made in heaven.
TT says, how many streams you getting for Turn Off the Lights a month?
Man, that's a good question, dude. That's a very good question. I have to look at my BMI and my statements, my sound exchange statements. They vary though, dude. They go up and down. They go up, especially sound exchange. Sound exchange goes up. 1 minute I'm like, hey. 1 minute I'm like, hey, what the hell happened? It's this whole thing is kind of interesting. Thank you, American Negro.
Yeah, good looking out. He says, Lonzo, that was me promoting or sharing the link to your channel last night. Art New Stalls, Kinkos, El Segundo, and Gary. Can I mod? He wants to be a moderator. Yeah, get Lonzo offline. We definitely love to get you as a mod.
Yeah, come on in. Yeah, we can do something, dude. We dude. You know what? That's probably my biggest problem. I'm open to trying new things. If somebody asks, hey man. And that's funny. I was thinking about that a minute ago. I was just thinking about that a minute ago. Somebody wanted a documentary. They asked one of the guys, asked me, can I get a certain guy on the thing? And first thing came out of his mouth was, how much, is it paying any money? I said, probably not. But you got a story to tell. It might be something else for you on later on. Oh, I gotta think about it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Either you gonna do it or you're not. Okay. And simple as that. Unless it's about me spending some money or investing some time or money, I can pretty much give you an answer pretty quick. That's it. And maybe that's my my fault. One of my faults is that I don't like to fuck around. Hey, we're gonna do it or not. And that's simple as that. Yes, we can do a mod situation. We can give it a shot, see what happens. Worst case scenario, I can turn you off.
There it is.
Worst case scenario, I can turn you off. I might run across something. I might run across something good.
Easy Steve says, was Easy in the studio when Miss Chalet recorded her vocals for Turn Off the Lights like her movie proceeds?
He might have been, dude. He might have been. That's real hard to say because it was. I know that Dre, the fellas was there for us. Also, who else is there? The Uzi brothers. They played. One of the guys played bass, played keyboards on the song. So I don't know. It's very possible. I would say yeah, because that time he was kind of in Dre's ear on a regular basis, and he had been in the studio for so many times. It would very possibly be yeah.
Okay. Yeah, American Negro says he moderates for Lord Jamar and Rod Digga, Urban X, and Yuck Mouth. Okay, well, those are some big names in the podcast world. So.
Yeah. Okay, good looking out, Doc. I appreciate it. We can
yeah.
Shoot me your email so I can connect with you.
There it is.
All right, folks.
There it is.
About 16. Yeah. I'm gonna hit him up again, man.
Yep, we're waiting on Lil Flip, guys. We're waiting on Lil Flip.
Missing something. Just waiting for his to land. He got the last minute flight. Just waiting for him to land. My apologies. Okay, I'm looking. Here it is, right here, folks. That's the text right there.
What did he say?
You can't see it. He says, I think he said he's waiting on his plane to land. Got on the plane last minute flight. Just waiting on him to land. My apologies. All right. He said he wanted to. Oh man, I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay, cool.
All right, we'll see,
folks.
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. Moncho Campbell, we're the Cali dudes, the first dudes rocking earrings on both ears. First person I saw do that was Dr. Dre on Express Yourself.
We might have been, man, because I didn't get mine until Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay.
I just cut my hair, and I just cut my hair off around 94 when Pulp Fiction came out, and I saw Marcellus Wallace. He was a buff dude, about my complexion, had 2 earrings. No, I didn't get fucked in the ass. I just wanted 2 earrings, and that's when I did mine. That's when I did mine in 84. Dre might have done it before then. Yeah, he might have. Yeah. Especially if it came out, yeah, okay, yeah, it was before then.
88, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you realize to give it up with the hair? Because I had my own personal moment where I decided, like, dude, it's time to just go and start shaving it.
Dude, it was funny, man, because I realized a few things all at the same time. I just got married for the first time. And my partner and I, we went to my partner. He had a trip, so he was on our honeymoon. We all went to Hawaii, and my partner's a big dude. And Willie Mo, the one I'm talking about, he's a big dude. And we on the beach, and somebody took a picture of us, and I couldn't tell me from him. I'm like, damn, I didn't know I was that big. And so I get back home, I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm on the treadmill. And I'd always made a promise to myself, if I ever got the George Jefferson or a hold in my natural, I was gonna let it go. I'm on the treadmill, and I'm at the gym, and they got the mirrors all around. And I look in the mirror was set a certain way. I looked in the back, and I could see this guy on the bike had a hold in his natural. I look at homeboy, got that big ass hole in his natural. And I looked around to see what it was, and wasn't nobody riding the bike but me. And I said, God damn. And I realized I said, shit, I am, because, I got, right now, if I let my hair grow, I got hair, but I got a big ass bald spot in the back from wearing hats and caps all them years and Jerry curls, all that shit, perms. I done had every hairstyle known to man. And that day, I left, got off the treadmill, took a shower, went down to the my boy's barbershop. Said, man, let it go, take it off. You sure? Yeah, man, it got to go. It got to go. And I've been bald ever since. And I always rock the earring. And I always rock the earring. And then when I was rocking stud at the time. And then after Pulp Fiction came out, I started the hoops. Like I might be a good look. And I dropped a couple of hoops in after that. Yes, sir.
Man, tell us about, because you rock this like a god. Tell us about the popularity of the Jerry curl and what was the process like to even put. What did you have to do to make that shit look fire before you went out on a Friday night?
Man, Jerry curl is one of those hairstyles that intrigue people for decades. Now, in fact, I'm in a documentary on the Jerry curl. A buddy of mine is shooting a documentary about the Jerry curl, and we talk about the Jerry curl. But before I go there, it's funny how people forget how many people rock Jerry curls in the Jerry curl era.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at a video yesterday with my boy on another show, and my boy showed me a video of Full Force. Everybody is juicy as shit. Everybody's shit is juicy. Full Force, their shit is just dripping. Okay, and that was the look of that time. But for some reason, Wrecking Crew is more associated with Jerry curls for some reason more than anybody else. Okay, Wrecking Crew, although Easy rocked the Jerry curl, Cube rocked the Jerry curl, Curtis Blow, and so many others, Wrecking Crew gets more Jerry curl questions than anybody else. But to tell you how Jerry curl was jumped off of me, my boy Dwayne he was a local barber under the club, and he knew how to Jerry curl. Jerry curl was a 3-hour process. Okay, it was a 3-hour process, and the nappier your hair was, the better your curl took. As they called it, bad hair. If you got bad hair, you make a good Jerry curl. Okay. If you got Nigerian hair, like my boy called it, your Jerry curl gonna be dripping. My boy he said something one time. He said, I hope there's no Nigerians on the line, but he said, your kids is as bad as Nigerian hair.
Yeah, Lil Wayne had a line like that too. Something like tougher than Nigerian hair or some shit. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Suge rocked the Jerry curl, Quick rocked the Jerry curl.
Oh yeah.
Steve, it was a thing to have, but it was the most probably of all hairstyles I've ever rocked in my life. It was probably one of the most difficult to maintain, and it was the messiest to maintain. I messed up many of pillowcases. I messed up many of shirts. Because if you look at most cats back in the 80s and the early 90s that rocked Jerry curls, the shirts, the style of the shirt at that time was no collar. We wore silk shirts with no collars, because if your Jerry curl was moist and laid on your collar like so many of them did, your shit's gonna be stained. It's gonna have a brown stain in it. I found an old Wrecking Crew hat. I found one of my old Wrecking Crew caps, embroidered the whole 9 yards. And I found it. I could tell I had when I put it in my storage place, it had just I had my Jerry curl because the hat was so heavy. No bullshit. The hat was heavy as hell. It was the black hat. I had them made when I had my black jackets made to rock with the jackets, but that was the Jerry curl era, and that hat was like, it was almost still heavy from like being soaked in Jerry curl juice. And when I had it cleaned, that it wasn't as heavy, but it still has a stain in it from the Jerry curl juice. And Jerry curl juice was some shit, man. If your girl had a Jerry curl, y'all couldn't have sex because if Jerry Curl juice got in your eyes, got it off your head, her eyes, she was gonna be crying, and vice versa. If you flipped her over and it got in your face, she was gonna be crying. Jerry Curls was a weapon. Jerry,
Damn.
Jerry Curl juice in your eyes, you're gonna be blind for the next 5 minutes. Like your ass off. Bullshit. Okay. No bullshit. Jerry Curl juice was like a weapon. It would make your eyes water. Don't get it on your hands. Oh my God. Oh my God. It just was, it looked cool for a while, but after you had it for a minute, it was high maintenance because they would dry out in a minute. The chemicals would dry out like it's nobody's business. And just like they said in the movie, I'm gonna get you, sucker. Shh, shh, shh. You doing this shit right here, and if you dancing, that shit is flying everywhere. Oh man, and you know your pillows be heavy. Only thing was more difficult to deal with was them geometric hairstyles that women had. The little cuts and shit, the different kinds back in the 80s.
Gotcha.
Your girl got a fresh cut, you couldn't get none. Get nothing, because if that shit starts sweating, she's sleeping like this. I ain't bullshitting. She's sleeping like this, okay? And if you're trying to get laid, it ain't gonna happen, okay? She might put it out there, but don't make me sweat. But we ain't sweating. Shit.
I learned at a very young age not to pull the black woman's hair during sex.
I'm trying to do a little less cussing these days, man. That's my thing for 2022. I'm trying to do a little less cussing. I'm still gonna be Lonzo. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna out 100%, but I'm gonna be cussing light. Simply because I got a couple of videos I dropped and I realized how many MFs and N's
I know.
in there. I'm like, damn.
Yep. I had to catch myself too doing. Yep. It's facts.
I do cuss a lot, and on some of the videos I have to almost edit myself because I'm trying to get some sponsorship around here, and sponsors don't cuss. They don't pay for cussing.
Yeah, that's facts. Makes a lot of sense, man. Obi-Wan says, funny Lonzo brought up Full Force. Talk to us about Full Force, man. They don't get a lot of recognition that they deserve. They wrote a lot of music.
They wrote a lot of music, but Full Force never was big in LA.
Okay.
That was one of the groups that Russell tried to get me to jump on after Run. He was gonna give me Full Force to make up for Run DMC situation. Okay. He's gonna give me Full Force.
What do you mean, performance-wise?
Yeah, because Run DMC did a show at Uncle Jam's Army, and I was pissed. Me and Russell had it. Dude, how you gonna do that? How you gonna send the same people to me? I didn't pay for them. You're gonna send them to my competition. So me and Russell had a little thing at that time. Well, I'll give you this right. I'll give you Full Force, and I'm playing the record. And this shit ain't hitting up here. This ain't gonna do me no good. Nothing. It has no value to me whatsoever. I mean, they're a good production team, but when it came to their music, it didn't hit well in LA at that time. So I had to pass on it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. I assumed because of House Party, they were in House Party. I thought they were from LA. I had no. Do you know where they're from?
They're from New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Something else I know about my chat room. I got some smart people in my chat room. I get corrected all the time, man. I get corrected because sometimes I get people confused. I got Steven Spielberg confused with George Lucas, and somebody, hey man, that wasn't Steven Spielberg, that was George Lucas. Oh man, I'm sorry, and I appreciate that. I got some real folks in here that got my back and don't want me to look stupid.
That's what's up. Did you ever? I know they're a little bit ahead of your time. Not ahead of your time, you know what I mean. But did you ever do anything with Kid and Play?
Nah.
Okay.
Kid and Play came out blazing. They came out blazing. Now, they may have not been. They may have had a struggle like everybody else. But when I saw them, they was on top. Now I've talked to Kid in Clubhouse a couple times. I'm working on getting him on the show as well. But I know I don't have a personal relationship with him. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your relationship. And we actually, I think, did a whole segment on this before, but it's been a while. and I think you even interviewed the owner. But talk to us about the importance of VIP Records and your relationship with them in
Man,
Long Beach.
VIP Records was the like the Underground Railroad for black music in LA, especially. There was Cletus was the big brother. He had the big stores. At some point in time, all the Anderson brothers had a store. Some of them had multiple stores. But when I came into the game, when I came to the distribution game through Record Shack, Calvin was one of my clients, and Cletus was one of my clients, and we hadn't met in person. We had never met in person. But then when I started, something happened. I had to drop the records off, and they appreciated it so much. Me taking my time to drop the records off. We became cool. We became super cool. What I didn't know is that Roger had worked at VIP once upon a time, but Roger got fired from Record Shack at one time. But I got Kelvin's Kelvin's account, and it was a big old mess, man. Make a long story short, when we got super cool, especially me and Cletus, when I dropped Z-Rock. And I dropped the Z-Rock mix 12 inches. That's when everything kind of jumped off. Because now we making money together for real. We making real money together. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. What the boy say? What did he say?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's just funny. Yeah, you know what? Texas Clone. We talked about this about 20 times on the show, but it's a question, so let them know. Lonzo, have you ever met Robin Harris?
Do I know it? Have I met him? I damn near discovered the dude. Okay. Robin Harris played Eve After Dark with the Test Tube Baby and Baby Kids on a regular basis. Okay, on a regular basis. Robin, before he blew up at the Comedy Act Theater with my partner Michael Williams, Robin would make he would make the Chitlin Circuit rounds here in LA. Back in the 70s, in the early 80s, there was about 40 or 50 clubs in LA, literally. Okay, it was like 40 or 50 clubs in LA, and they had them in Long Beach, small clubs in Long Beach, LA, and you could just go, if you were an entertainer like Robin was, you can go from club to club, pick up $25, $30, $25, $30, and make yourself some decent change in the weekend. Okay, you might have depending on what clubs were the hottest on certain nights. Everybody wasn't hot every night. He'd start off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and you can hit 4 or 5 clubs a night, and that was just enough clubs to get a rotation. But Eve After Dark was always on his early crowd because I had a young crowd. It was kind of an early crowd. He start there and give him his first $20 for gas money, and then he go hit the other clubs, and that's how it was. Me and Robin, in fact, Robin's wife, Zanetta, her name is Zanetta. She and I are good friends. I saw her a few months ago, and we were just talking about this. I always thought Robin and Zanetta met at Eve After Dark down at Jeffy's downstairs, but that wasn't the truth. They'd already hanging out. They started dating until later on. But me and Robin Harris go back. But I helped. Oh, I won't say I helped him, but he kind of developed Baby Kids at Eve After Dark.
Damn, I love that story because that dude is one of the most funniest people in history. I mean, he's up there with the Richard Pryors and the Eddie Murphys comic wise to me. I mean, he was so funny. He made House Party.
Robin Harris and what's her name? Tiny Lister.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be at the Comedy Act Theater in Leimert Park every Thursday. That was his main spot. Right before he blew up, he would be at Comedy Act Theater. Comedy Act Theater was where every black comedian. Comedy Act Theater in Leimert Park at the Regency West was Def Jam without cameras. Robin Harris was the host. When I'm talking about 84, 85, I'm watching Martin. I'm looking at Arsenio Hall, all the Waynes, the sisters, everybody and right there on Crenshaw and 43rd, Degnan and 43rd and Degnan, Robin was the Harris. I mean, Robin was the host. I'm sorry, Robin was the host. Okay, this is when Magic Johnson and Michael Cooper were playing on the Lakers. They believe the form and come to the Magic to the spot on Friday on Thursday night after the game. Robin talk about their ass if they lost. Okay, he talk about them bad if they lost.
Yeah.
Coldest shit I've seen Robin do. I'm gonna tell. I think I told you the story. I'm gonna tell you again. I'm sitting there and Robin Harris, Tommy Hearns, had just got hands put on him by Sugar Ray Leonard. Robin had this thing about don't go to the bathroom while I'm on stage. He like that was disrespectful to him. And people were literally damn near be ready to pee on themselves. They be doing the people dance. As soon as Robin leave the stage, you see about 4 or 5 people break to the bathroom, okay? Because you don't go to the bathroom while Robin's on stage. Tommy Hearns, he like, man, fuck Robin, okay? Tommy Hearns get up. And Tommy Hearns is a tall dude. He like 6'3", 6'4". Tommy Hearns get up and go to the bathroom. And he walked right past Robin. And Robin looked at the big ass bug eyes and said, what? And Tommy Hearns like, man, get out of here with that. Robin just looked him dead in the face and said, don't make me call Sugar Ray. And he said that shit. The whole club fell the fuck out. It was over. It was over. Don't make me call Sugar Ray. Oh, man. Dude, that was one of the coldest things I've ever seen Robin do. And it was so funny. Tommy Hearns had to bust up laughing. It was like that, dude. It was like that. Okay. Robin had one more time. I remember seeing him and Sinbad got into it one day. Not in a bad way. They was, both these guys are sharp, they quick-witted as hell. And they gave Robin was on stage. Sinbad came to the room. Sinbad was in the back of the room, and somebody gave Sinbad a cordless mic. And Sinbad and Robin got into a bagging contest. It was like 2 kids on the schoolyard, but it was like 2 gunslingers with words. Man, you could have robbed this joint. You could have walked behind the cash register and took all the money because couldn't nobody breathe. You could not breathe. Okay, it was so funny. People were taking off, running out the room because they couldn't take the hit. People were putting their hands over their head, running out the room. You can't take it no more because it was so much laughter going out. Man, you just, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this. And you ever laugh like so hard like that, man? All out your body, and you trying to get air, and
you just can't.
That's the kind of shit that Robin and Dad put down at the Comedy Act Theater, dude. So that era of comedy was so man. Well, I'm gonna call my boy Michael. You know what? Fuck it.
Michael Collier?
No, Michael Williams. Hold on, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can catch Mike on the phone.
Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate everybody. We don't know what's up with Lil Flip. He's probably not going to show up again tonight, but it is what it is. But hey, Lonzo, if you want to call me later and do the show, if he ends up calling you later, dog, just hit me up and I'll jump on with you.
I'm gonna see if I can get us somebody else on the line right quick, man. Make sure. I don't like disappointing my people, man. I'm an old school player like that. I can't help it, dude.
I know, man.
Special because y'all just roll with me twice. Hey, Mike, what's up with you, Doc? How you feeling, man?
I can't complain. I'm doing all right.
Look here, I'm doing my podcast. I'm talking to you right now, Mike. I was talking about the Comedy Act Theater, dude. And I said I'm gonna call Mike, see if he'll talk to us for a hot minute on the line. You got a minute, man?
Yeah, I talk.
Okay, good, man. This is Michael Williams, folks. No relationship. I think we distant cousins. It ain't,
Yeah,
man.
We share the same cousin.
We share the same cousin, okay? Michael Williams was the owner of the Comedy Act Theater in Leimert Park. And I was just telling, man, just talking about the era of the Comedy Act Theater and Robin Harris, how him and Sinbad had that little thing one day. They just had everybody laughing so hard. And the situation with Tommy Hearns and Robin told Tommy Hearns, "Don't make me call Sugar Ray," and the response to that shit, man, you were ahead of your time in comedy. Okay, what made you start the Comedy Act Theater back in the day?
Well, in a nutshell, I started it because I felt like I had been charged to do something for our race. You know, we didn't have a comedy club at the time, and we didn't have really an outlet for place for Black laughter to just flourish and enjoy, itself. And so, knowing that I've always wanted to have something special that I felt like I could do that would make, Black people feel good about themselves, my particular circumstances at the time was I was looking for something to release, my frustrations and my anxiety of not having my career the way I wanted it to be. And so I just said, I need to go somewhere and laugh. And lo and behold, that's when I saw where, we needed to have our own facility, our own home. And that's how I got this whole thing started.
Now, when you started, who was some of the acts coming through in the very beginning?
Well, initially I had, Robin Harris as my host. And then I had, who else? Martin Lawrence, Robert Townsend, not DL. DL was later. Shoot, now I can't think of everybody. It's been a little while. Damon Wayans, Sinbad, and a few others.
Now, in doing that, man, what do you think was your heyday? Was like one of the best moments for you being the creator or something like that?
Wait, say that again.
What do you think was one of your best achievements being a creator or something like that? People always ask me about Dre and Cube and stuff, but you were on the other end. You got two boys, last name Williams, distant cousins, but they played major roles in two different fields. One comedy, one in hip hop. Who was your best? Yeah. What was your what? Here you go.
I would say, being able to give opportunity to individuals that didn't know that one day they would have an opportunity to be something that they may have only, thought about, wish could happen, or once they saw where it was something that they felt strong enough that they could do themselves, become individual rising stars and then major stars. And just knowing that, I was able to do something that, again, nobody else was trying to do for our people. And to have an opportunity to really create a Black comedy industry, that was one of my crowning achievements, I would say, if I had to pat myself on the back. But just knowing that all the people that were, that became alumni and those that enhanced their careers because of the efforts of what I did. And now we're looking at, generations that have come after, and there's no stopping. I mean, when I think about it, people like Kevin Hart and Cat Williams and Tiffany Haddish and, others in that generation, they were just little kids if they were born during that time.
If they were born.
Yep.
Yeah, no shit. That was what, 40 years ago?
It is 35. Going on 30, 35, 36?
36 years.
37, going on, yeah. Going on 37 years.
Wow. I was telling them about how back in the day, man, the Lakers would show up after the game and Robin would talk about it if they lost. It was just, the spot was a who's who of Black entertainment,
Yeah. It was one of the locations for Black Hollywood to say, hey, this again is our spot. This is where we come to congregate and know that, you know, we're witnessing something that hadn't really happened before in the manner that it happened. Because a lot of folks have to understand, when I started my business, I started it with the intent of giving folks more than their money's worth. Wanting to have something that they could be proud of, saying this is not something that we sometimes tend to downgrade ourselves and call stuff ghetto and all that kind of stuff. Nobody could say that, you know, nobody could say that at all because it wasn't really in that mindset.
Right. You know what? Was there a comedian that you thought was going to blow up that didn't, and then there was one that you thought that was like whack and ended up blowing up?
Well, there's actually a lot more that I thought would have blown up that didn't, and then there were a few that did surprise me. You know,
who was your biggest surprise?
And initially it was Chris Tucker.
Wow.
You know, I didn't think he was going to be as big, and then I didn't really see Jamie Foxx being as big until I actually brought him to Atlanta for his first road gig.
Okay.
And my brother, who was running my club there, just kept telling me after like the first week that this guy was so good, we need to keep him another week because he was getting standing ovations. And we ended up keeping Jamie Foxx for 3 weeks straight in Atlanta when I first opened the club.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
So, I mean, D.L. Hughley, Bruce, you know, Bruce was somebody I never thought would be, you know, big time. And even Monique and some more, you know, I didn't think they would have gotten to the levels that they got to. But then when I really look back and analyze the whole thing, that generation of talent, there was really nobody in front of them. So they had a clear lane to just blow up and be accepted by, you know, this new generation of comedy audience, you know, members that were, again, for the first time, seeing their own people up front, you know, and in person.
Okay.
You know, not everybody had a chance to see a Richard Pryor or Red Fox or Rudy Ray Moore. You know, when you think about people who are under the age of, I'll say, 65.
Yeah, right.
You know, not a whole lot of people were going to see these folks because, you know, this talent was in nightclubs or bars, you know, and they weren't the feature. You know, they weren't really, it wasn't a comedy show per se.
Right.
You know, it was a variety show at most, but it was really dominated by, you know, singers and musicians during that time. And comedians were just the filler.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we both grew up in the era when LA had a lot of nightclubs, man. I remember, you know, from El Segundo to Wilshire, dude, it must have been 25, 30 clubs alone. It's just in that,
that's right.
Just in that era. And when you were doing your thing, man, what made your club stand? You was on Thursdays. That's one reason why you stood out. That's a dumb question for me, but I got to ask you anyway. What made your club stand out besides the good comedians?
Well, you know, I concentrated on making it special.
Okay.
I wanted it to stand basically alone as something that you couldn't get nowhere else.
Okay.
And part of that had to do with how I marketed my club in the beginning. I didn't market my club as just something local. You know, before I opened, I was sending press releases to major newspapers and magazines all around the country, letting them know that a major comedy club was about to start and that there was going to be all these Black comedians that nobody knew about, you know, about to basically hit the stage that would be a game changer. And so that was part of the lure and excitement and that special something that nobody else could really claim during that time.
Okay.
And so that's what made all the difference.
Now, how did you feel when you saw what you did on 43rd end up on Def Jam? Was that was kind
Well,
that's kind of
well,
a copycat, wasn't it?
well, all of them, Def Jam, Comic View, In Living Color, anybody that started anything that was based on Black comedy all came behind me. I was the example for everybody.
Mm.
When Russell Simmons and HBO were coming, they decided that they were going to do an offshoot, and this was 7 years after I started.
Okay.
When Bob Johnson, BET, and his crew were coming, they decided to do an offshoot of the Comedy Act and call it Comic View. This was 6 to 7 years after I had started.
Wow.
So everybody used me. I mean, Mad TV, I think it was. That was again an offshoot of what I, had started. I mean, everybody came through me.
Right.
I mean, the auditions were at the club. The talent that was being discovered was at the club. It was a haven for the entertainment industry to come and see who was the next and best, brightest Black talent, coming out of my club.
Right. Sounds familiar, Mike.
Yeah. So in other words, I knew that eventually what I started was going to be bigger than just one person running it. I knew I couldn't be at every club, every city, every state in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that once everybody saw what was going on, it was going to spark basically, this run for everybody to want to, jump into it and see what they could do with it.
Okay.
And that included both talent and promoters, and producers, and anybody else that saw that there was a new market being developed. And that new market was the Black comedy consumer.
Okay.
So everybody was jumping on the bandwagon to grab those new dollars that were being brought into the industry.
Cool. Man, Mike, I appreciate you taking the time. I know it was last minute. This is some impromptu stuff right here. I was just talking about the Comedy Act Theater. Some of my folks in the chat room, and I was telling the stories about how much fun I had down there coming up at the chat in the Comedy Act Theater. And I'm glad you were able to answer the phone and and add something to it, Doc. I appreciate it, dude.
Really that's no problem. I mean, there's going to be, shall I say, I'm working on an anthology, which is a coffee table book.
Okay.
That's going to be an essay of all the individuals that contribute. Basically, they're contributing their memories to their experience at the club. What they saw, what they heard, what they, what may have changed their whole life.
Okay.
And then I'm working on, shall I say, the city of Atlanta and Fulton County are going to honor me and the Comedy Act and everybody that started at my club there.
Okay.
As giants of really making the state of Georgia have the entertainment industry that they have today. I mean, we were part of that initiation of really that movement of people coming to Georgia or to Atlanta, and so that's coming like later in the year, and I'll be able to let you know when I actually get a date.
Please do, Mike. Please do. Man, much
All
love,
right.
Mike. Thanks for answering the phone, man, and bringing some little something to the show. I appreciate it. And the history and Michael Williams, folks. I guess I can call you the godfather of comedy, huh? LA comedy.
Yeah, or call me the Baba.
The Baba. Okay, he'll take that. He's the Baba. The Baba, the godfather talking to the Baba. Bye-bye, Baba. Much love to you, Mike.
All right.
Thank you, Doc.
All right.
All right, peace.
All right. Thank you. All right.
That's dope. Peace. That was dope.
Thank you, Doc. That's
I
my boy.
love stand-up comedy, man. That's one of my favorite things in the whole world. And little known fact, I tried stand-up comedy. I actually used to open up and do little things, but I completely suck. And I realized those people are geniuses, and never to disrespect their world by stepping into their world again, because it's really hard to make a group of strangers laugh. You think you're funny around their friends and ha, but make a group of strangers who just worked 40 hours a week, their kids are, their wife pisses them off, to try to get them to laugh.
Right.
It's a tough gig, man.
I went to a comedy club Sunday for a minute, man. First time in God knows how long. And because I'm not a comedian, but I have my moments, and it's real hard. I can see your punchline coming. If I see it coming, it don't do nothing for me. And for the first time in a long time, dude, some comedians had me rolled over at my seat, and that shit felt good. It the first time in a long time I've had somebody just like bam, like my boy say, Patrice O'Neal, funny dude.
Ooh, love Patrice.
Corey Holcomb, killer. Oh my God. Corey Holcomb, dude, he is probably one of the most realest, no nonsense, could give a damn dude in comedy I've ever met in my life. Okay,
yeah.
I've ever heard. I've never met him before. I'm looking forward to meeting him one day, but nigga, don't clown me when I meet your ass. I ain't no groupie. I just think I like your shit. I remember one time he said this one line, man. He said, told this girl, he said, man, I went out with this girl and she pulled her panties off, and her panties look like hot wing paper. Nigga. Dude, I was done. Y'all look like hot wing paper. Oh, Negro, that was some crazy.
Oh, that's good shit.
Okay.
That's good shit, dude.
Tough craft, Willie Moore. You right. Okay.
Who's the guy from help me out, chat? Who's the guy from Mad TV, the black dude? I think he's so funny too, but I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. He did all this big dude, yeah. Looks like he eats a lot of fried food.
Yeah, he played in Hot Tub. He played in Hot Craig something.
No, I know. No, I know who you're talking about. He's funny too. Hold on, I got you. Mad TV black. It is can't believe it. Arius Spears, thank you.
Arius Spears, yes.
Arius Spears, dude, is so funny too, man. So funny.
Let me hit my boy up again, man. Let me know we're still here, Doc.
All right, cool. If anything, I'm pretty hungry and I haven't ate dinner yet. So if anything, I'll have to step away, and
okay,
I can definitely jump on if Lil Flip comes back on tonight, though. But
all right,
I'm gonna need to get some food in me, man. I haven't eaten since this morning.
Yeah, we'll hang out for our regular hour, see what happens, man. I don't like doing this, dude. I really don't like doing this. I don't.
Sorry, guys. Yeah,
I don't need to tell y'all something that's gonna happen and don't happen. If I tell you something's gonna happen, pretty much I'm a man of my word. I'm not an uncredible cat, and these people call me. I'm trying to hook it up. They call me, and I'm, hey man, cool, let's do this. But hey, what can I tell you?
If Flip were anyone else, I wouldn't even give him a third chance. Since he's Lil Flip, man, it's like that date that you hope the girl calls you back, and you're like, all right, you left me hanging there one time. Damn, all right, I'll give you another chance. All right, I'm gonna give you one more chance, bitch. Not calling Flip a bitch, but I'm just
I normally don't.
I normally you leave me hanging once. It's gonna be a hard time to catch up with me again.
I don't really trip on that. If I tell you somebody coming, they usually coming. They coming late. Now his people say he's on a plane. I just hit him again. We still here. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you can set it up, send me the link. Just shoot me a text. Let me know. I'm down to jump on. I'm free for the rest of the night. I just need to eat. So
I ain't mad at you. American Negro, man, I really appreciate somebody moderating the channel. Dusty does what he can do. We got so much going on. It's real hard for us to do what we want to do. I appreciate that, folks.
Yeah.
And before I go, man, I want to tell everybody in the chat room, all 50 people that's listening to what I'm saying here, what I'm saying right now, I want you to notice what's happening here in the chat room, okay? People see you doing something and they want to help. Not because they have to, Not because you're paying them, because they just want to see you. They have something to offer to what you're doing. Okay. If you're talking about doing something, can't nobody see your dreams but you. Okay. If you're talking about trying to make something happen, 9 times out of 10, nobody understands what you're saying. But what you put things in motion. So I'm saying all this to say this: if you have something that you want to do, well, I don't know what it is, be a rapper, basketball player, whatever the case may be, put your dreams in motion. Put your idea in motion, okay? It ain't got to be perfect. It's an old saying I got from my boy Les Brown. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great. Okay? When I started doing this podcast, this motherfucker was buzzing and humming and all kinds of shit. Okay, I took shit from the club. I took shit from my club that I just shut down. Microphones that had too high of an impedance, mixers that wasn't designed to be done certain things, cameras that I just plug. I was doing some makeshift shit. Okay, and people thought I was trying to do and appreciate it. I've had people come on board ever since, including Dusty. Okay, came on board. Lonzo, you got some stories. I'm gonna help you do this. A lot of what you see after the show posters, Dusty does that. Thank you, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I'm that kind of guy. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, I'm glad to be doing this with you.
I don't have time, and I don't understand. Sometimes I don't understand the premise for doing it, but he does, and that helps. Okay.
Thank you.
Kareem Gates, much love to you.
Yeah, shout out to Kareem. Thank you for the love, man. And even little things like that, man. Just $5 like that means a lot, you know what I'm saying, to the show. There's Willie Moe at $9.99. Thank you so much, man. Much love.
And I'm an old school proud dude. I don't even know how to ask for money. I don't know how to ask people for money. I don't. I never. That was never my get down. Okay, and I appreciate every donation, every cash app, whatever it is. I appreciate every dime because I'm an old school player, and everything I've done on my own. But I've always had help. But I've always done it on my own. But I'm not too proud to accept it. But it just I never learned how to do it. I'm not a preacher. Go to your bank right now and bring your credit card. That's not Lonzo. That ain't Lonzo. So whatever y'all do, it's always appreciated. And the fact that y'all come and sit with me every time I open this microphone up is another level of appreciation I can't pay you for, and I appreciate all that right there also.
Facts. And the stories, man. The stories you get. The dude last week who said he just lost his friend and he had your record and can you sign it? I was like, damn, that shit. There's no monetary value on that. Like,
no, I hooked the record's on the way. I sent him the address. I'm waiting for it to show up. When it shows up, I'm gonna hook him up and send it back to him. I might drop a little something into him just on the strip, man.
That's so dope. That's dope, man.
Okay.
Damn. Shit, man. Well, I got to get out of here, Lonzo, at least for about another 30 minutes. But like I said, if Flip hits you up later tonight, just shoot me a text and I'll jump on with you.
Okay, now just so y'all know, Flip is on 3 hour. I think they're in Texas.
He's in Houston.
They're 2 hours ahead of us. So if by some chance he comes back, he hits me up and said he want to still get down, I'm gonna do it, and I'll let Dusty know. We'll make it happen, folks. In the meantime, everybody for sticking with us. We tried to make it happen again, folks. I don't know what happened with the plane. I don't know nothing about this right here. American Negro, thank you for all your help, man. Appreciate it. OG Shags, MF, MP, WTF, all y'all, Willie Moe, everybody. Much love to everybody for being on the chat room. Dusty, I'll see you. If something jump off, I'll see you shortly.
Sounds good, man. Peace.
Let me hit this button right quick and end this show right here and do what we got to do. We out, folks.